My biggest problem with Jamal Bryant is that he centers himself in everything. I thought Jamal Bryant started the Target boycott. I thought he did it with Nina Turner and Tamika Mallory. It was that the women came together, they brought him on to bring the church and, to make it more widespread and national and to have a bigger movement. He does this video where he claims that Target has met their 3 out of the 4 demands, and he declares it over. How do you declare something over? You make yourself the face of it. You declare it over, and you didn't start it. And the headlines are extremely confusing. You have people asking the very question that you started this off with. Are we boycotting it? Are we not? You have Nina Turner and Tamika Mallory saying, no, they have not met the demand, and they're still boycotting it, while Jamal Bryant, standing in front of a Target sign, is telling you it's over. You didn't start it. It started in Minneapolis.
Man, this situation is real goofy, man. Now, this is the thing. I don't feel bad for, I'm going to keep it all 100. I don't feel bad for a lot of these black women, these Democratic black women over here complaining about Jamal Harris and Bryant. I mean, what more do he have to do? Now, he's done created a bunch of single moms. He done made a mockery of the pulpit and of the word, and y'all still followed him. But now, because he done went up on his soapbox and declared the Target boycott over, now y'all want to cancel him. But what about all the other stuff that he was doing, man? So we know that Target, after George Floyd was unalive, they pledged to, they donated like $2 million at that time because it happened right near the Target's headquarters in Minnesota, and they donated like $2 million. But they had planned to pledge upwards of like $2 billion, advancing racial equality, including commitments to black-owned businesses and communities. But in 2025, Target announced it ended several high-profile DEI programs and investments, right? And that led to a lot of black leaders across the country boycotting them because they reneged on the things that they said that they would do. Because once Trump got back in office and they started getting rid of DEI, black clergy and community members felt that reversal was betrayal, and they was upset. People are livid about it, right? To the point where now, they going on Roland Martin. They talking like everybody's just they just going crazy. They saying this.
Nakima Armstrong, civil rights attorney, co-founder of the National Target Boycott, joining us from Minneapolis. Nakima, glad to have you on the show. First off, there's been all sorts of, a lot of people don't even understand the timeline, all sorts of who's doing what. And the reality is your group called for a boycott in Target. Boycott of Target. Nina Turner's group called for a boycott of Target. Both of those commenced on February 1st. And Pastor Jamal Bryant's Target fast started on March 5th, which was initially supposed to last for 40 days and then go further. So in terms of where, so talk about what has happened over the past year in terms of your organization and this boycott, and how have you been marshaling folks nationwide?
Well, first, I want to say I feel like I just watched a theatrical performance, and I need a palate cleanse after what I just heard, which I do not feel is genuine based upon my own experience in dealing with Jamal Bryant. He knew full well what he was doing when he flew to the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. to call a press conference trying to end the national Target boycott. The amount of upheaval that he has caused is absolutely absurd for us as a community to be dealing with when we have shown unity and coming together and withholding our dollars from Target Corporation. Remember, a company that's based right here in Minneapolis, and all the harm that Target has done. So I am just so deeply disturbed at the actions of Jamal Bryant, not just this week with the foolishness of calling this boycott and calling an end to the boycott and claiming he didn't know what was happening, but from the very beginning, when I saw his attempts to co-opt the work of Black women organizers regarding this boycott, people who lived in the Twin Cities, which I specifically conveyed to him as to why this boycott was so important because of the promises that were made after the murder of George Floyd at the hands of the police. And what did he do? He gaslit me when I said, you are trying to co-opt our work. He had a publicist book him on shows like yours, CNN, The Breakfast Club, to peddle a false narrative, positioning him as the leader of this boycott.
But it wasn't.
What makes it even more offensive is the fact that women are the ones who have sustained this boycott. Black women, white women, because we control the discretionary income in our households.
Now this thing is deep because, you know, the people, like I said, they was protesting because Target ended DEI initiatives. Target ended programs aimed at increasing Black employee representation and career advancements. They also scaled back support for Black-owned businesses. The company modified or ended programs focused on sourcing products or servicing the Black-owned suppliers, right? And they were mad. They were mad. I'm talking about Trump came in and rolled all that back and said, you get all your stuff based on your merit, and it has to be for everybody, right? Not specifically for Black people. And mind you, they pledged to donate over $2 billion over some time to Black businesses. Now, Jamal Bryant came out the other day and he declared this over. Now, I don't know if it was something going on behind some backdoor deals. He may have got some money. They gave the clergy some money to go ahead in there and shut all that down. But he went up on his soapbox and he said this.
For that we can claim in this hour that victory is ours. It was done because Black people and brown people and conscientious people had a made up mind that we can make a difference and we can make an impact. And so could things be different? Yes. But things are better. And I'm appreciative. And sometimes we've got to celebrate small steps. And the question that has been asked of us over the last year of 35 Fortune 500 companies who have walked away from DEI, why did we pick Target first? And the answer to that resoundingly is Target is the only one we invited to the cookout. They were the only ones we felt were kissing cousins. They are the only Fortune 500 company that got a hood nickname. We called them Target because we had let them into the house. And so it was not just a abandonment of DEI, but we felt as if it was a betrayal to it. We are effectively today closing this chapter because we have other fights that we've got to see and other things that we've got to tackle. But I'm grateful and I give God all of the glory for what it is that he's been able to do. So thank you for praying with us, marching with us, and standing with us. And stay tuned for the next fight. But this fight for us has now reached its conclusion.
Now again, a couple of trinkets, some butter biscuits with a little bit of honey sprinkled on top and a pat on the forehead. And they're happy. Now, the one thing that I cannot stand with the Democratic Party is this gender division, where you always have these Black women saying, well, Black women did this, and then you got the men over here, and whatever happened. That's why I love the foundational Black American grassroots, because we ain't operating that way. We operating as a family, as a unit, trying to get things done. We trying to stay away from y'all, man, because y'all are so dysfunctional. So now he comes out and he declares it done. Black women are up. These Black Democratic women are upset. Now they're calling him out for all his crimes and all the stuff that he's done in the church that y'all overlooked. And that's why I'm so glad. Shout out to my foundational FBA women, FBA brothers, man. We together, we 10 toes down. And you get a chance to see what that crap look like when you come out from amongst it and be separate. You separate from this foolishness, man. They're getting nothing done. And they at war with each other. Shout out to the Real Dana, man. Y'all need to go over there and subscribe to the Real Dana show, because she came and she gave some real informative information, and she broke down just the things that Target gave and to the Black community during this time and before the protests, right? And how they actually been selling the community out. But the Real Dana really broke this down. Check this out.
Man number one, reinstate DEI. Well, that's not going to happen because you have a new federal administration, a Trump administration, and they got rid of all DEI, and Fortune 500 companies rely on federal funding, and they're not about to mess up those billions of dollars that they get. So demand number one, reinstate DEI. Not going to happen. Target did not reinstate DEI, but they launched something called Belonging Program. That's a rebrand. That's a name change. DEI is still gone because The Belonging program, that includes everybody, not just Black people, right? Demand number 2, account for the $2.1 billion pledge after George Floyd murder. Bryant said Target completed 97% of it, but that money was already committed before the boycott even started. They didn't win that. That was already happening. Jamal Bryant got up there last week and said Target completed 97%. That 97% was already completed by 2024. So for the past year, you mean to tell me Pastor Jamal Bryant, one of you idiots who boycotted, he wanted y'all to boycott over 3%? Demand number 3, invest in HBCUs. Well, Target gave $10 million to a HBCU design school, and they gave $18 million to the UNCF, that's United Negro College Fund. Sounds good, right? But again, these were already existing programs, nothing new to negotiate. Do you know when Target gave that $10 million to the Black Design School? Back in 2022. Yeah. Pensacola Lewis College of Business and Design in Detroit. Target announced in October of 2021, they were going to invest $10 million to reopen the school in October 2021. As the nation's only HBCU design school, the partnership was part of a larger commitment to support Black communities and advance racial equity. Dan Gilbert, the Cleveland Cavaliers owner, he donated money. Nike donated money. That school reopened back in 2021. It was closed. They had to close their doors in 2013. Demand number 4, partner with a Black bank. Bryant admitted on that stage they got nothing. His words, Target does not have a relationship with not one Black bank, zero, zip, nada. Okay, well, Pastor Pimp Bryant, did you yourself and your so-called organizations reach out to Black banks to for them to get a meeting with Target? Did you reach out to Target to at least have a meeting with Black banks? Which Black banks and how many? If you have not approached any Black banks, Jamal Bryant, you can't tell Target to reach out to just random Black banks. The finance world don't work like that. So if you want them to partner with a Black bank, why didn't you organize Black banks to come up with their agenda to give to Target?
Shout out to my sister, the real Dana, man, because she's always giving informative information and really breaking it down and showing, the ins and outs of how this thing works, man. And they didn't get anything. They protested for nothing. Like she said, they was protesting for like 3%. They got nothing. Like they didn't organize anything. They didn't organize and create something where Target can say, well, where do I send the money to? Right? These Black churches didn't come together. You see like a lot of these women on here, they arguing saying, well, you going against Black women, but what did you guys organize where they can come and have a sit down and maybe give some money, because they're not rolling back DEI, right? So what's the plan B? What's the plan B, right? Listen, as foundational Black Americans, man, we got to organize, man, and we got to start having a plan B separate from these democratic plantation thinking people, man, because they're not going to get nothing done. This is a capitalist system, man, and you have to have leverage, and you have to force their hand, man. But, man, listen, Jamal Bryant is being Jamal Bryant. That's who he is. This is what he does. He's always done this, right? And for a long time, a lot of sisters didn't have no problem with him. They didn't let him get away with it. But now he's moving in on y'all territory. Now you got a problem with him now? Come on, man. This is hypocrisy at its finest, man. But you guys didn't get nothing. All those programs, they had already gave money. You're mad because they rolled back and reneged on promises of giving this $2 billion. But what leverage did you have to stop them? They already knew, man, we ain't got to give them Negroes nothing, man. They ain't organized anyway. And when we roll it back, all they gonna do is complain, cry, and bitch and moan. They don't have nothing set in place to counteract what we doing or stopping us. So we ain't got to do nothing for them. And that's just the way it's going down, man. That's the way it's going down. So as foundational Black Americans, we can watch, eat our popcorn, and learn from this. And now we can figure out ways to counteract these things to get things done for us in our communities. But y'all guys let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.